Have you ever heard a silence that screams? Not the kind of silence you find in the woods at night, when the wind whispers through the trees, but the kind that settles in a 5-bedroom mansion where laughter and the clinking of glasses used to echo. But now all you hear is the creak of the floorboards under your tired feet and the echo of your own breath in empty rooms. My name is Arthur. I'm 65. Just 2 years ago, my name opened doors to the offices of mayors and bankers. I built an empire from nothing, literally with my 2 hands and a single idea, starting in a small garage where I used to sleep, dreaming of the future I promised my wife and children. I thought I wasn't just building a business. I thought I was building a fortress for my family, an impregnable tower where they would be safe, shielded from life's storms, where they would never have to know want or disappointment. As it turned out, I was just building a golden cage, and they kept me in it like an ATM until the bills ran out. Today, I'm going to tell you what it's like to die socially while you're still breathing. How it feels to look at the faces of your children as they stare at you like you're a stranger. Faces that once shone with love, but now express only contempt. And how those you kissed goodnight, those you gave your last penny to so they could be happy, are the first to cast a stone at you when you fall, when your foot slips from the summit you spent a lifetime climbing. This is a story about the price of success, the real price you pay, and what remains when the last gold chain is stripped from your neck. I used to work 16 hours a day, sometimes more. My mornings began before dawn and ended late at night. I missed birthdays, school plays, and family holidays. My wife, Emily, used to complain, begging for more attention, but I always answered, "This is for you, Emily. This is for our future, for Mark and Elisa." Eventually, she couldn't take it anymore. She left, leaving me with the children. I tried to compensate for their mother's absence with money, gifts, and luxury. It was the biggest, most terrifying mistake of my life. I filled the void in their hearts with the glitter of the material world, thinking it was the only way to show them my love. My children, Mark and Elisa, grew up in private estates with swimming pools and drivers, personal tutors, and summer camps on the French Riviera. I bought their love. A new Porsche for a graduation? Of course, the latest model, so all their friends would be jealous. Elisa's wedding in Italy for $1 million? Please, no limits, my daughter deserved a fairy tale. I bought Mark an apartment in the city center when he was only 22 so he could start his independent life. I was their Santa Claus, the genie in their lamp, granting every wish. I remember their eyes back then. They sparkled. They would hug me tight, kiss my cheek, and say, "Dad, you're the best in the world. We love you so much." I believed them. I was so blinded by my own success, by this illusion of happiness, that I didn't notice I wasn't raising heirs or partners or loving children. I was raising consumers. To them, I wasn't a father. I wasn't the one who wiped their tears or taught them how to ride a bike. No, I was an investment portfolio, a source of an endless stream of benefits, an ATM that always had to dispense the next portion of joy. And as long as it did, I was their best dad. The turning point happened suddenly, like a lightning strike on a clear day. It wasn't one big explosion, but rather a series of deadly blows. A global logistics crisis, a default by our key partners that pulled down a chain of debts and unfulfilled contracts. And then, my own blind overconfidence. I believed in my invulnerability, in my golden touch that turned everything into success. I made risky investments to save what could still be saved, hoping for a quick recovery. Instead, in a single month, I lost 70% of my assets. To save the company, to keep at least something, I leveraged everything. Our luxury home, stocks, even my life insurance policy. I thought, it's okay, we're a family. We'll stand firm. I'll fix everything. I was wrong. I gathered them around the large dining table, the same table where we celebrated Christmas and birthdays, where it once seemed the whole world revolved around us. I said, "Children, times are hard now. We need to be together more than ever. I need your help. We need to sell your extra apartments, switch to simpler cars, and tighten our belts for a bit. It's temporary. I'll get it all back, I promise. We'll get through this." Do you know what I saw in their eyes then? Not compassion, not understanding, not support. I saw disgust. Pure, naked resentment, as if I had become a dirty, unwanted beggar right before their eyes. As if I, their father, had turned into something shameful they couldn't tolerate. Mark, my son, whom I taught to hold a tennis racket, whom I took to his first football match, said, "Are you out of your mind? That's my money. You promised it was mine. Why should I pay for your mistakes, old man? Haven't you any shame?" His voice was dripping with contempt. Elisa, my daughter, my little princess for whom I bought the best dolls and carried in my arms. She just cried, but not for me, not for us. She cried for her lost illusions. What about my charity ball next month? You ruined my life, Dad. How am I supposed to look my friends in the eye now? That night, I realized for the first time. For them, I ended when the numbers on my account ended. My value was equivalent to my capital. $0, zero love. I sat in the darkness of that large, now empty dining room, and my children's words cut my heart sharper than any knife. The bankruptcy was fast and merciless. Courts, foreclosures, liquidations. I lost everything. From the massive estate, only memories and a few old photographs remained. I moved into this small rented apartment on the edge of town, where the walls are thin and the neighbors hear your every sigh. For the first few weeks, I waited for the phone to ring. I thought, they're just in shock, they need time. They'll come. They're my blood. A month passed, then 3, then 6. My birthday, 65 years old. A jubilee. I remember how I used to look forward to this day, how we gathered hundreds of guests, how Elisa baked my favorite cake, and Mark gave me vintage cigars. That year, I cooked dinner for myself. I bought a small cake at the nearest supermarket. I sat and stared at the phone. It was silent. Not a single text. Not even a happy birthday. I gathered my courage. I called Mark. He declined the call. A few minutes later, a message came. "I'm busy, Arthur. Don't call me if you have nothing to offer. I don't have time for your problems." He called me by my name. Not Dad. Arthur. That was the moment I knew I was dead to them. $0, zero love. I sat in the dark of that lonely apartment and ate that small cake, washing it down with salty tears. A man who managed thousands of people, who built factories and decided destinies, couldn't raise 2 people who would simply come to have a cup of tea with me, to say a word of support. That was my personal hell. Now, I work as a consultant for a small, almost invisible firm. I take the bus. My hands aren't as manicured as they used to be, no more expensive watches, but for the first time in 30 years, I sleep peacefully. I sleep without the fear of losing, without the pressure of meeting someone's expectations, without the pain of disappointment. I feel the taste of simple food again. I see the beauty of an ordinary sunset, something I hadn't noticed in a long time. I'm speaking to you, young businessmen who are making your first millions, building your empires, chasing every dollar. And to you, children who are waiting for an inheritance, who look at your parents through the lens of their bank account. Money is paper, comes and goes. Today it's there, tomorrow it's gone. But how you treat a person when they are at the bottom, when they lose everything, when their strength is gone, that is your true face. That is your true price. My children now pretend I don't exist. They are ashamed of their poor father. They don't want their friends to see the Arthur who went bust. But you know what? It's not me who is poor. It's you. You are bankrupt. You are bankrupt in your souls. You have expensive watches, but you have no time for love. You have big houses, but no one waits for the real you inside them. You have everything except the most important thing, humanity. I survived. I found the strength to start over. This wound will never fully heal. It will always remind me of itself. But the pain of knowing your own seed turned out to be poisonous. That pain will stay with me until the end, like a constant, dull phantom. Arthur takes an old family photograph, looks at it one last time. His gaze filled with unspeakable sadness and bitterness, then places it face down on the table. Don't build empires on sand. Build them on respect, on trust, on unconditional love. Because when the storm comes, and it comes for everyone, life spares no one. Money won't keep you warm. Only the hand of a son or daughter holding yours will keep you warm. Not because there's an expensive ring on it, but because you are their father. Because you are a human being. Take care of yourselves. And don't let gold blind your heart the way it blinded the eyes of my children. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go. My shift at work is starting. Life goes on.